Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is super exciting because I am doing an updated what is on my iPhone 8 Plus video. So the reason I'm doing an updated one of these is because I know a lot of you guys know about iOS 14 and the new update and how everyone's designing their new home screens. Well, I spent like 2 hours designing a new home screen for myself, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna make a YouTube video out of that so it doesn't feel like a total waste of time. But on a side note, I am completely obsessed with my home screen and I worked really hard on it and I loved it. So I'm gonna be showing you guys how I organize my phone with iOS 14, how I organize all like my widgets and stuff, and kind of like the theme that I went for with my phone, and also just kind of showing you guys all the apps that I have on my phone, just like a standard what's on my iPhone type of video. So make sure to subscribe to my channel if you are not already subscribed, and give this video a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's just get right on into the video. Alright, so just kind of starting out with a little bit of background, I decided to make my phone like subtly book themed. And so I wanted to make it book themed because I love to read, but I didn't want it to be like super obvious and in your face with like fan art on my apps or anything like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, I just wanted a more like subtle book theme for my phone, so you would know that it was book themed if you've read these books, but if you haven't, you wouldn't really think too much of it. So kind of when you first like go on my phone and you see the lock screen, it is a black and white sort of with a moon. That kind of reminds me of the Night Court from A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is why I made it like that. And the same thing with the background of my like where all my apps are, the lock screen. The lock screen. It's again kind of reminded of that with like the stars and stuff, and I just thought it was really pretty. And I also, as you can probably tell by looking on my phone right now, decided to go with a little bit of a dark theme, which all my friends and family were like, why is it so dark? It just is, okay? So just at the top, I have like this really big widget right here that's like tells me the day and the time, which is kind of handy because I always forget what day it is. And then for my apps on my main home screen right here, I have the FaceTime app, the calendar, iTunes, App Store, clock, notes. Really kind of your just more basic apps, I guess. And then I also have WhatsApp and Safari and stuff. And for the little book theme on this one, I have a little quote that says "to whatever end," which is from Throne of Glass, and I love that quote, and I needed to have it on my home screen. And then I also have just some like things that remind me of certain books. So for example, again, I have more stars, more like black clothes. We actually have, if you look at the Safari icon, we actually have Valeris right there, which is from ACOTAR as well. There's another and I promise I have more than just ACOTAR. These are just, I'll point them out in a second. I have the ACOTAR little symbol on my camera. And then on just like the very bottom row, I know it doesn't label the apps, but I have messages on the very far left, and then phone, Instagram, and then Snapchat on the very far right. And then kind of moving over here to the other page, so I again have another little widget thing right here that says "I'm gonna rattle the stars," which is another Throne of Glass quote. And then I have a lot of like crowns on this page, kind of reminds me of the selection. And then I have swords and stuff that also reminds me of Throne of Glass. And then kind of more like castles, fire, mountains. There's some stuff on here that reminds me of Red Queen, that series. But as for apps, I have the Canvas app because that's the app that I'm doing my online college through this semester, so that's fun. I have TikTok, which is where I spend literally all of my time. And then I have the Fitbit app, weather, YouTube Studio. YouTube Studio is awesome if you have a YouTube channel because it really lets you see all your analytics from your phone. I spent so much time thinking that you had to see your analytics from a computer, and that was kind of annoying, but the YouTube Studio allows you to see them from your phone, which is pretty cool. And then I also have the YouTube app, obviously, because I am a YouTuber, and kind of makes sense, and I also watch YouTube. I also have Spotify right here. just to listen to music. Pretty self-explanatory what a lot of these apps are. Then I have Pinterest, the TV app, Indigo because of my book buying addiction. You know, I am always looking at this app, adding books to my cart that I definitely do not need. And then I have my alarm app. So I know I've talked about this alarm app quite a bit, but I know I haven't mentioned it for a while. So basically what this alarm app is you can set your alarm, but then you can make yourself do one of these things in order for the alarm to turn off, which is pretty cool because I really struggle to wake up in the morning. So you can have it just like as a normal alarm, or you can make it so you have to shake your phone a certain amount of times, take a photo of something, scan a QR code, do some math problems, do a memory game, before the alarm turns off. So it kind of makes you wake up a little bit before you turn off your alarm. So I personally love this app because it actually helps me wake up for school. So of course I have that on there, as well as Lightroom. I really feel like my apps have absolutely no organization. Like I have like editing apps beside like my Netflix and stuff. I don't know why I did that, but now I'm used to where they all are, so they're really not going anywhere. So I have Lightroom, which I use to edit my thumbnails. I have a whole video based on how I edit my thumbnails if you're curious of the steps that I do. I will have that somewhere linked. I don't know. Linked down below. And then I have Netflix. And then I have this little game called 1010, which I really... Oh, there's an ad. That's annoying. Oh my gosh. I can't even show you guys because there's a stupid ad. Okay, never mind. It's a little game that I like to play. And then I just have the Ibooks app. I don't usually read books on my phone, but there's a few little like short books that I could only get on my phone that I wanted to read. So I have the Ibooks app just for that. And then I just have Cute Cut, which I don't really use for editing a lot of things, but sometimes for certain TikToks I will use it to splice certain things together just because it's really like easy and quick to splice. And then I have Google Docs, Skip the Dishes in case I want to order food. Then I just have like my period tracking app in like the bottom right corner there. And then the next page, I really like this page. I think it's so pretty. So I have another widget right here that says only you can decide what breaks you. I really like that quote. It's from A Court of Thorns and Roses. And then on this page, I've got like lightning. That really reminds me of Red Queen if you've read the series. More castles, more swords. I've got like a crow for like 6 of crows. And then I've just got some like pictures of books as well. It doesn't really relate to any specific book, but just like pictures of books. And then I have lots of pretty dresses as well because I don't, you know, they were pretty, so I wanted to put them up here. But as for apps, I have a banking app. Facebook, don't really use Facebook, but I have the app anyway. I have Goodreads, because if you haven't been able to tell already by this video, I like to read. And then I have Fonto, which I also use to edit my thumbnails. It's what I use to like put the text on my thumbnails. So of course I have that right there. And then I have the Color Widget app because that's the app that I used to make this giant widget, the Wednesday one. I used Color Widget, so I have that app. And then I have the Apple Podcasts app, and then the Find My Phone, Google Maps, reminders, voice memos. I also have Subway Surfers, just another little game. I have Vaunt, which is like the video version of Fonto. I know a lot of you guys know what Fonto is, but I don't know if you know what Vaunt is. It's basically just you can put text on videos the same way that Fonto puts text on photos, which is pretty cool. Because sometimes I have videos that I make TikToks out of where I want to add words onto them. So I will use that app. And then I have Widgets, which the Widget app is basically how I made these like bigger ones with the quotes on them, like only you can decide what breaks you, and I'm going to rattle the stars into whatever end. Basically the Widget app was how I created those. And then I have my settings, not very exciting. The Health app, Messenger, like Facebook Messenger, Google Classroom, the Contacts app, Superimpose, which is another one that I'll sometimes use for my thumbnails. I don't always use Superimpose, but I do every once in a while. It's enough to keep it on my phone, if that makes sense. And then I also have the Shortcuts app, and the Shortcuts app is basically how I got all my apps to be a different photo. If you guys want like a whole tutorial about how I did my iOS screen, I can definitely do that in another video. I feel like it's just too much to go into in a what's on my phone video. But yeah, that is all that is on my phone. Those are all my apps. This is the layout. I'll do another, like, I'll do a quick like pan over of the entire layout, just like a quick one. And yeah, I'm honestly super proud of it. I absolutely love the way that it turned out. I love looking at my phone. It took me a little bit of a while to get used to because it was definitely super weird having all my apps in different places and looking different, but I think I'm starting to get used to it. But I personally love it. So I think that's going to be all for today's video. I don't really have too much else to say, but I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. And again, if you have any questions about how I did anything and how I got my phone to look like this, please let me know. But I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!